Hey everyone. So, as the subject says, there is no version 3. There is a previous generation and a current generation, referred to as version 1 and version 2. It'll be a while before you see a version 3. Version 1's previous generation, everybody knows, everybody's familiar with them. These are the current generation. And aside from some relatively minor changes to board layout between them, or, maybe a shield was added, there's really no difference between these radios. They perform the same. So, where does this come from? Well, there's a lot of bad actors, a lot of unscrupulous people, and what they want to do is they want to sell you something, and they want to use this whole idea of having a wire versus not having a wire as some kind of marketing tool. And I've already seen a lot of the arguments out there that are being made, and I've had a few people ask me about it. Well, I saw this in this group, or I saw this in this group, where there's this version 3 radio. I have a version 2 radio. What do I do to get a version 3 radio? What's the difference? It doesn't look any different. It's because it's not. And then, of course, you have people who are trying to extract money from people to sell them another radio that they just bought 6 months prior. Well, I just bought one 6 months ago, and now there's already a new version, so people are getting upset. Guys, there's no version 3 radio. So don't listen to these people. It's completely nuts to me that this is even an argument. But this whole idea, because now a wire was changed, there's like this whole idea that there's a whole nother version of radio. Oh, and there's a menu in there. Well, okay. Well, what if I told you that I could make this first run radio, okay? What if I told you I could turn this into a version 3 radio? What if I told you I could do that? Because there is no version 3 radio. So, poof, I just use my, here. If I need something, for comedic effect here, let me get my magic wand here. Poof, it's a version 3 radio. Or maybe I could do something like this, just to show you that it's literally just a software update that changes the mod. That's it. So if I hold these two buttons and turn it on, it doesn't do anything. Okay? Not on this one, because this one has the gold firmware on it, the shipping firmware, the very first firmware that was up for these radios. And then you have this one from the latest generation, and it has this menu in it. So what if I told you that I could take the firmware from this radio and put it on this radio and show you this? So here, let me go ahead and do this so that we can put this to the rest and I can prove to you that there is no such thing as a version 3 radio. Or if that's the case, I can make one if I want. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to push this button and say yes. And we're going to sit here and we're going to wait a bit for it to reset. And once it resets, it will be a shiny new version 3 radio, or supposedly version 3 radio, because remember, there is no version 3 radio. So almost done. It will reset when it's finished, changing stuff. There we go. So it just reset. And we'll say okay to that. And so, as you can see here, it's not modded either. So why is that? Because now I have to go into the menu and do it. The menu that wasn't there before. So is that now is this a version 3 radio? Come on, guys. It's just software. It's no hardware change. It's nothing better, nothing worse. All it was done was it was changed. Now, as to why things like that get changed, well, sometimes they have to do it for legal reasons. So other than that, same hardware. There's no version 3. Let's put that to bed. So, the first thing you can stop is peddling it around and saying, well, I heard there's a version 3. You heard wrong. There's no version 3. Cheers, guys.